Hey everybody, today is May 17th, 2023. I'm Gene, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Hanging with Uncle. If you have not already yet, please hit the subscribe button. And if you have already hit the subscribe button, please click that like button. It really helps our channel out. And don't forget to click that notification bell so you'll know when we put out new live content. And having said that, let's get into it. All right, this is kind of a foundational topic today. Like you always hear, well, what gives the government the authority to do this over me? And that case was decided early on in this country in the case of Marbury versus Madison. And the Supreme Court had this authority to have jurisdiction over the President of the United States. Kind of interesting when you think about it. So what happened was John Adams was president and Thomas Jefferson beat him out in the election. And Adams had a bunch of people he wanted to push through at the last minute. What they call the midnight rush of these appointees to federal positions, but he ended up not doing it. And Marbury, who is a Maryland businessman, was one of these people on the committee that was supposed to have been rushed through on Adams' last day in office. So Marbury decided that he was entitled to that position and sued President Madison because Madison refused to honor Adams' selection. He's the president now. You only have one president. Executive privilege goes all the way back here, okay? So the question was, number one, did Marbury have standing? And the Supreme Court decided no, he did not. The second case or issue on Marbury versus Madison was the courts did not have jurisdiction to overhear this case. And I forget what the third one was, but long story short, the Supreme Court, all four of them at the time, so the Supreme Court has been expanded. I don't want to get off on another tangent, but they voted 4-0, striking Marbury down because number one, Marbury legally, the president does not have to follow through with his predecessor's wishes. It's called executive privilege, and only the sitting president has it. Number two, it established judicial review, which means, does the court have the authority to review this? Okay? And the answer is yes, in this case. Marbury versus Madison is a landmark case. The Supreme Court justice at the time was John Marshall, very astute in his reasoning for ruling against Marbury. And Marbury was a Federalist, and Jefferson was a Republican, and he wasn't going to put somebody from another power or party in a position of authority in government. So it's kind of a long story short, but that is the landmark case that gives the Supreme Court judicial review, i.e. the right to review laws and cases to determine their constitutionality. And in this case, it was determined that the refusal of Marbury's appointment to this position was not unconstitutional. Good day, sir. You get nothing. Chief Justice Wonka would have been good on that one. Anyway, it's a short one today. I just kind of wanted to touch on Marbury versus Madison. I highly recommend you read it. If you have any taste for jurisprudence or judicial review or just the law and why we have the laws we have today and why we practice them, Marbury versus Madison is a good place to start. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I'm Gene. Zane and I look forward to seeing you on Friday. Stay safe out there, everybody.